Hello again. I said in the last video that I was Kate's friend of a certain age who had realised her dream of writing and publishing a novel. Well, it didn't happen overnight, of course. I was a secret writer for many years, and I still have poems and stories that I wrote in my 20s and 30s, most of them in pencil, which says a lot for my confidence at the time, and also the quality of pencils, because I can still read them now. Anyway, after doing a lot of short courses and even a correspondence course, as they used to be called back in the 80s before email, I decided that I needed to make a commitment to writing, otherwise I'd remain frustrated at playing with it for so long. So I signed up for an MA in creative writing at the University of Cumbria, and this involved a time commitment and a financial commitment, and it meant that I had to make it work. And I wrote Judith Wants to Be Your Friend in my final year with lots of peer encouragement and critique, and my tutor was absolutely amazing. She once said, "I have no doubt this will be published one day. It's a real page turner." So that was a great motivation for me. Then I got started on the rounds of submitting to agents, hoping to be spotted and taking on their books. And most of the replies I got were very polite, some were very encouraging, and one asked to see the whole manuscript, so you can imagine that I was bursting with excitement that day. But unfortunately she didn't love it enough to be able to sell it to publishers. Anyway, I met that agent, Madeline Milburn, sometime later at a How to Hook an Agent event in London, and she remembered Judith and she gave me some feedback which I later acted upon. And I don't know why, but Madeline's feedback was on my to-do list for about a year. And I wonder whether we're all a little bit afraid of success. But it was after attending a self-publishing training event that I was inspired by my now writing friend, Paul Teague. Actually, I'm still inspired by the way that he manages both his writing and the business and marketing side of his writing. He said he'd decided not to wait for an agent. He'd self-published his first novel and had the next two in the trilogy coming soon, and if an agent found him, he'd consider his options then. So it was right then and there that I decided that I would self-publish, and I worked with a company called Matador, who helped me with the presentation of the book, inside and out, and helped with the marketing and converted it to an ebook as well. And to date, Judith has sold over 5,000 copies, and although I haven't made a fortune from the royalties, I have more than covered my costs, including the university costs. I've been asked to do about 10 talks to different groups, including a TEDx talk at the University of Cumbria. I've been interviewed for 3 radio stations, 1 podcast, and I've had my first payout for library lending. And in October this year, I ran a workshop at the Borderlines Book Festival in Carlisle. And sometimes people introduce me as an author. That's really good. So as I say, I haven't made a fortune. I'm still waiting for the call to turn Judith Wants to Be Your Friend into a TV series. But what it did for me was it scratched the itch that had been there for ages. And I proved to myself that I could achieve that thing that I'd always wanted to do. And it also led to my latest venture, this one, Not Too Late at 58, because I have proved that it isn't too late at 58. So have you got something that you've always wanted to do? Have you got an itch that you really must scratch sometime soon while there's still time? Well, the next Not Too Late at 58 is Now the Right Time for You online course will help you work out whether now is in fact the right time for you to pursue your dream. And it starts on the 27th of October. Not Too Late at 58, the book is out now. It's on Amazon. And in the meanwhile, before I email you again in a few days, if you haven't already done so, please click the link to have a try of the course. It's a taster session. It's a free download. It will help you to improve the satisfaction of your life right now in 3 easy steps. No obligation, no payment, nothing. So I'll say thank you for listening, and I'll be in touch again soon. See you then.